Why they felt the need to barely continue the story from the first one, I do not know. But yeah, it went direct to video. They put it out, like 2005-ish, I think?
I don't know.
And I'm thinking it's because Lord of the Rings had just finished. Aragon is being made. Narnia is doing well. This feels like, hey, for home video release, let's put like a dragon fantasy thing out just to fit in with a lot of what all these other people are doing. Just like a cheap alternative.
Yeah, 2005.
So yeah, you get Dungeons and Dragons Wrath of the Dragon God.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Dan, can you read the plot synopsis on the back of that?
Oh, man, with my 3rd grade reading level. All right. Vengeance, magic, monsters, danger. A thrilling adventure continues. Retribution is at hand. Nothing can keep me from it, warns evil Damodar. Sorry. The scepter of death does not daunt me, for I am already dead. After centuries of fearsome corpse creatures come to dreadful life, armed with a black orb of such awesome power that he can exact his revenge from the Emperor of Ismar, home of the descendants of those who vanquished him earlier.
Descendants, you mean?
Oh, sorry.
I usually let things slide. I'm like, no, go back on that.
No. This is just all this is. Asking me to read something is a complete setup to just tear me down.
This is my favorite part. Keep going.
Yeah. Just get everyone get ready.
In the Scream sequel episode, Crystal referred to Nev Campbell as Naive Campbell. So don't worry. You're not on that level.
I'm sure I can be worse. This sequel to Dungeons and Dragons is based on the popular role-playing game. It fills the screen with amazing visuals, effects, and spectral ghouls, diabolical traps, thundering armies, and huge winged dragons. The story follows 5 champions of Ismar who must perform prodigious feats of brain, brawn, sorcery, and capture the orb. Be vigilant, be bold. The quest begins. Let no one turn back.
Okay, so pop this one on YouTube. For some reason, it's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Whoever put this out just doesn't probably remember they own this movie.
Good for us.
Yes. I struggled with this one. This one was
worse.
Yeah, it was leagues worse than the first one. Although
it might be the worst one.
Yeah, although I hear it's a little bit more like accurate to the game, which I kind of felt when I'm like, I bet you a lot of this, because they actually are a team. They are working together, ragtag team, but
I mean, this one has more of like a group of different characters.
Yes.
When you say group, do you mean that they never did anything together when it came to fighting, though?
They attempt it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it later.
But I mean, like, as someone who's never played D&D, but has, had experience with games like this, it's like, I'm the muscle, I'm the thief, I'm the this.
Yeah.
We got to find this magical thing to get this thing. That all felt accurate, and the creator of D&D, whose name is that I butchered before this,
Gary Gygax.
Yes, apparently he helped develop the story from this. So I feel like maybe a lot of that is accurate.
There is a lot of lore accuracy in.
Yes, I feel like some of the items, like the ram ring or something like that, is that what it's called? He has a ring that's like a ram, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
If it has any sort of properties or affiliations to something, I don't know. The ram ring just sounds like a weird thing to just call a ring.
Yeah, I'm
with a
picking
ram
up
on it.
I was picking up while watching it. I'm like, I bet you a lot of these are references.
Well, if you say that in like D&D terms of ram ring, you can someone's gonna think it's a magic ring that rams.
It kind of does.
It does. It shoots out like a Green Lantern
and
ram.
It knocks him over.
And then there's the scene.
Maybe I blocked that part out.
Okay, good. I'm glad you mentioned that. Because I gave you a heads up on this. Because Monica has a very famous memory.
That's why I wrote notes.
Yes. I usually don't do notes for these types of episodes. I should have probably done them for this. I've experienced this one other time with another movie I covered recently. Mm-hmm. On Patreon, we did Lawnmower Man 2.
Okay.
We did it on Patreon because we did Lawnmower Man 1 on the main channel. Didn't do well. So we did Lawnmower Man 2. And yeah, Lawnmower Man. It's a very great movie. It's a great movie. But Lawnmower Man 2 and Dungeons and Dragons 2, I had the same thing where as I was watching the movie, I was forgetting the movie. Literally, like, and I was watching the movie. And like midway through, I just went, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're doing anything. I don't know what the mission is. I think it's to stop a dragon from waking up, right? There's a dragon in the mountain.
This is definitely relatable because I can't remember anyone's name except for Damodar.
Oh, I could not. If it was not him from the first movie, I wouldn't know any of their names.
I guess I remember snails and.
But
from this movie, I don't remember anyone's name.
Yeah,
but so there's a guy, and his wife or sister is like a magic lady.
It's his
wife. Yeah,
it's his wife.
Yeah. She's a mage.
Yes. So
Melara.
she's with all the magic people, and they have to stop Daramir, who's back, but with no blue lips.
Damodar.
Yeah.
Bruce Payne.
Please.
Bruce Payne. I'm just calling him Bruce Payne, which actually is a cooler name than his Dungeons and Dragons name.
It is a cool name.
Which I could not believe they brought him back. I told you, I'm used to seeing Bruce Payne in like piece of shit movies. Highlander 4. He's in Highlander 4, and that's a really bad movie. So I'm used to seeing him direct to video movies, but
I thought there could only be one Highlander movie.
Honestly, there should have been just one Highlander movie, and then they made like 5 movies and a TV show, and the continuity doesn't make sense. But anyway, I couldn't believe they brought him back for this. I'm like, who do they think liked the first movie enough that they wanted to see that continue?
They wanted redemption.
But also, like, how did they get Brian Payne? Is that his name?
Bruce Payne.
Bruce Payne. How did they get him on board for it?
Well,
like, where they're like, you get to be the main villain this time.
Because especially around this time, he was the main bad guy in a lot of direct-to-video movies.
Okay.
It's just the thought of being like, yes, people want to see this character return. Like, most people don't remember the first movie and they didn't like it. Why did you go this extra step to bring him back? Like, was he the only one who signed a multi-picture contract? I don't understand. But he's the main bad guy this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's been a zombie man for years, and he has...
So it's been 100 years since the last movie.
Yeah, that's how they get out of not following up on any other plot lines from the first movie. They're like, just assume they had an adventure. Whatever, they're dead now.
Well, he's like, yeah, because Damodar's like, I'm going to wreak vengeance on everybody that wronged me.
Yes.
And it's just like, but are they descendants of Snails and Ridley and Marina and all
does
these
he ever
people?
look in to be like, do any of them have kids? Did any of them have kids? I don't understand.
Yeah, like, let me follow this bloodline.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm like, they never make a point to say if any of these characters are related to any of them.
No.
If they did, I missed it.
Yes. So yeah, the guy teams up with like a bunch of people to go look for the orb because Bruce Payne, am I remembering this right? He needs the orb to wake up the dragon god?
Yes.
To destroy Ismare, but now they're calling it Ishmare. They changed the pronunciation.
Things happened, in 100
Yeah.
years.
Meanwhile, she is with all the mages trying different spells and different types of magic, and somehow she gets poisoned by dark magic and she's gonna turn bad.
Yeah, so somehow Damodar, when they had she had a glimpse of like what was going on, was somehow allowed to take her hair doing that, which was kind of like lost on me because at first I had to think like, wait, how does he have her hair? Which she then explained to me later in the movie that he got it during the vision.
Yes.
So I'm like,
they had a telekinetic.
It's very Charlie's Angels.
yeah, it's.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because
Monica, we don't talk about Charlie's Angels on this channel since the girls hijacked my birthday episode and reviewed that movie.
Okay, well, it's very Charlie's Angels where Crispin Glover's character takes snippets of their hair and is always like sniffing it like...
See, that I understand, but but to use it to sap somebody's life, not cool.
So I don't really know what they're doing magic-wise. All I remember is laughing really hard when a lava baby showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the Again, I'm watching it. I have no idea what's going on. And they're like, we're going to do a spell. And then a lava baby shows, and it's lighting people on fire. And I'm just laughing my ass. I'm like, what is this? What's going
on? The whole movie is also kind of based on, like, Melara is saying, like, oh, there's these people, the Turanians, who had a certain type of magic that they don't study anymore. I guess all the Turanians are dead.
Magic.
I don't know.
Divine. Granted by the gods or something?
It's all, like, element based, like water, fire, air. But that's where, like, I guess the lava baby comes from. He somehow was.
She does a summoning, which is a normal thing that mages can do if they specialize that in D&D.
Yeah. But they keep putting her down. Like, all the other mages are just like, you're not good enough. Yeah. Like, we're not gonna let you be a mage. Like, you.
Even though they showed up to the house and she showed them this book that she found, proving that, like, she has some information, while they all gather around and look at the book, and one guy in the back, you can see the drugs are starting to kick in.
Pico's our favorite.
Yeah. He's just in the background the whole time. Like, I shouldn't have ate that extra brownie before I came here.
Is he the dude who, like, when the main guy is taking a bath, that guy gets pulled under a bed and explodes? Something bites him or something?
He was the best character in that movie.
Yeah, he was. No. Best character in the movie is the Lich.
The Lich.
Okay.
The Lich with the teeth too big for his mouth.
It's like monster effect, a makeup effect. But the makeup is too tight and the teeth are too big. So he's just doing the whole movie like, yes, I'm going to send ghost warriors after you.
When I think of Lich in D&D, how he looks is nothing how I think about what a Lich looks like.
What are they supposed to look like?
They're very skeletal for the most part.
They added more meat to him.
He's very meaty for a Lich.
Yeah.
And liches are very, very powerful beings. They're probably more powerful than beholders.
I've heard the term lich before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're notoriously hard to kill because they have these phylacteries, and if we don't know
what the hell's a phylactery?
And I'm getting there.
Okay. This is why I'm glad he's here. I don't know these things.
If anyone needs a reference, it's kind of like in Harry Potter. Voldemort had
Horcruxes.
Horcruxes.
Okay, those I know.
He would
those
attach
I know.
his soul to certain parts, and the only way to make him vulnerable was to destroy the Horcruxes. Gotcha. So liches are the same way; they cannot be killed unless you kill all their phylacteries.
Oh, okay.
But it gets
it does sound very.
They can get very pedantic by saying that this lich's one of their phylacteries can be broken up into 20 different souls, and this blade of grass has that one soul or something like that. And then there's more reasonable ones where it's just like, this is just where they're stored.
Yeah. So real quick. So he's working with Bruce Payne in this?
See, that's very unlich-like.
Yes. But then when
he says, he's like, oh, well, I want to be kind of like on the right side of this evil plan. So he wants to be part of it. So it's not like he started out working with Demodar. He just kind of joined in.
Then they wake up the Dragon God, and then he kind of makes a comment like, this is going to fuck up, and I'm glad I'm here to see it. It's like, what was your whole point of being here?
But this is where I have a big problem with that, is that this Lich is more powerful than everyone in this movie combined. Liches are very powerful.
Yeah.
If he wanted to just do something when they were in the castle, he could have just... Liches can literally stop time.
He forgot he could do that.
He had a hard time moving.
This one just kind of made ghost soldiers show up that were easy to run away from.
Yeah, I mean, Liches will definitely summon their own personal little army, for sure. But when you're a powerful being, typically with access to the most powerful of magics that can stop time, you don't really need anyone to help you.
Yes.
If you want to do it, you just do it yourself.
It just seemed like he wanted to fuck with Bruce Payne.
I guess I guess you could make the argument that he's too far away from his phylacteries. He doesn't have a lot of power.
Okay.
Damn phylacteries.
Is the Dragon God stronger than him?
So This is where I can get weird because dragons can be immune to a lot of magic.
Okay.
So
and he's like a very powerful. He's like gigantic.
Night dragon.
Yes.
So if he is just immune to a lot of magic, then absolutely he's more powerful than the Lich.
Okay.
So dragons sometimes break a lot of rules where they're just immune to stuff.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of dragon.
And I do like
chances he's probably more powerful than the Lich. Yes.
And I do like Daramir, Bruce Payne. I keep
Damodar.
God damn! Why do I keep saying Daramir?
Damodar.
Damodar. I like that he doesn't even like control the dragon. He just wakes him up. He's like, "Hey, I woke you up. Can you like destroy that city?"
Yeah.
And then we're good. And the dragon's like, "Okay."
Dude,
but I'm gonna take over the rest of the world. I'll leave you this one city after I light it on fire.
Our boy Damodar is obviously a warrior. He's proved that he was in the past. He talks a very big game in the beginning, and at the very
our boy.
He's my boy. But at the end of the movie, our main character who chases him down, Varric, and knocks him off the horse, and then he's just like, you got me. And they just sit there in a field, like, where's the fight?
That was like a really weak ending to that character.
Like, why aren't they fighting? You knocked up the horse, like, you got me, dude. You got me.
I don't even...
rules.
So they fight an ice dragon, they blow that up. I don't even remember how they killed the main dragon. How'd they kill that thing? Do any of us remember how the main dragon dies?
Yes.
Was it the orb?
So they break
Melora.
They break the curse on Melora.
Okay.
And she comes back to life and she uses a dragon orb to destroy him.
Mm-hmm.
She uses that Terranian magic because the Terranian magic is the one that put the dragon to sleep in the first place.
Got you. The one scene I thought was like kind of interesting was when the girl got like stuck in the wall and they had to teleport. That was kind of cool because you always hear about that in movies where they mention teleporting. Like, you'd be stuck in a wall, but you like rarely see it. So that was kind of cool to see. And they're like, all right, we're going to have to cut your arm off as soon as we teleport.
I thought they were going to actually, like, judging based off the first character, that they might have just like slowly killed off the party members.
Yeah.
So I actually want to talk about the cleric.
Okay.
Because this really bothered me.
Dorian.
Is that the lady, magic lady? Or?
No, the guy.
No,
he had like the weird...
He had the hammer, the weird haircut.
Okay.
And the thing on his...
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So they go to this hut, right? Mm-hmm. And the rogue is cool. He's like, oh, it's trapped. He does rogue things. He disarms the traps. He senses the traps, which rogues can sense traps. You know, they can disarm. He's doing rogue stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then they get ambushed by this dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost felt like our brave warriors are just panicking. They're running around just hitting it, and our brilliant cleric just was hiding and just steps out, and he just like puts up the shield. I'm like, first of all,
and then he just dies.
Yeah, and then he just dies. I'm like, why did he step out?
Maybe it was like self-sacrifice. I don't know.
But what was he sacrificing? Nobody was fighting. There wasn't like they weren't trying to get away.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't even like someone fell and he jumped in front of it. He's like, and he didn't even put his hammer or whatever. I think he started with the shield.
He cast a shield spell.
Okay.
And then he got overpowered, and then they ate him, and obviously he got blown up.
Yeah.
In the dragon. But like, he gets killed, and now Varric is like, all right, let's make a plan. You do this, you do that, and you cast a thunderbolt. I'm like,
that's what they needed, though. That was the motivation.
They needed a character to die to tie them all together.
But the plan was so lame.
You know what the motivation, Monaco, could have been?
What?
A dragon was attacking them.
Yeah.
I don't think a guy needed to die. I think the dragon they're like, oh shit, we gotta make up a plan.
But it could have been a cool epic battle using actual like D&D skills from the characters, and they just didn't do that. Like the rogue threw a dagger at it, the other guy stabbed it with a sword, she threw a thunderbolt. Like, that's just, there's such individual instances of not epic combat where it wasn't ever a team effort. It was just like, or I guess it could be a team effort considerably, but they're just throwing like bullshit at it.
Yeah.
And then hoping for the best.
So another scene I had a problem with. I had a lot of problems with this. So there's like who's the smart talking like thief dude?
Nim,
okay. There's a moment where he's like, no one look at me. I'm doing guild secrets and blah, blah, blah. And then like, he just like pulls a lever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was that?
He wanted to seem important. Like,
I guess so. Oh, was it a clever joke?
I think it was supposed to be a joke. Like,
It didn't come off like a joke. It didn't come off like a
Mister, I'm running away from a lich trip and just happened to find a gem of true seeing. What a shoehorned in ass plot right there.
I think the other thing that threw me off with this movie is like, so Varric, the guy that we follow throughout the whole movie, first of all, he's a tax lord, and somehow he gets entrusted with this mission.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and I think he mentioned he was something before that.
Yeah, he
captain of the
was,
guard.
but like now he's a fucking tax lord.
Yeah.
And he kind of says like when the wizards are like, "Oh, we're gonna entrust you with this, the tax lord, to take care of this problem," he kind of makes it sound like he knows all the other party members for like their brave deeds before, and when they get together, they don't seem to act like they've ever known each other
Nah,
or
I probably just
had
read
any
about
shared missions.
Maybe he just read about
And
them.
again, bad synergy between the characters for the most part. Maybe Nim and
Lux.
Lux, the barbarian girl, had a little bit, but the other ones just none at all. Like they didn't gel very well together.
No. I like when that dove got electrocuted. That was funny.
Oh my god, that was so
She's
funny.
like, "This is my best friend since childhood. This thing will help me." And she puts it up in the air and it gets electrocuted.
And then that guy laughs about it. Okay, that was humorous.
That was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
I did get a laugh out of that one myself.
The dove's name was Ona.
Now, I think we could all agree what the most memorable part of this film was. And that was Bruce Payne getting fluid poured into his spine.
Getting blood.
Yes.
Life force put
But
into him.
in certain angles, it looks like he's just shoving like a thing in his ass while he's laying on the table, and he's enjoying it a little too much.
There's just so many like arbitrary scenes happening that just seem so disjointed.
Yeah. He grew his handbags. So stupid. Oh no, when he was laying on the table, he's like, like I'm just like, why is this so sensual and erotic? I don't like it. It's making me uncomfortable.
It's only done once. Like you see the bodies hanging a couple times in the movie, but like this scene's only done once, and I'm like, is it really that important for him? Like I feel like we would bring it up more.
I don't know. But this is like 2 movies now where Bruce Payne is playing a bad guy who is like kind of gay. In Highlander Endgame, right? So you kill an immortal and you get like the quickening, and it's like them going in you. He does a line where he's like, "What's wrong? Don't you want to be inside me?" And it's like, okay, I know you're talking about the quickening, but that's clearly like a gay thing. And then seeing him in this, I'm just like, what was Bruce Payne's deal? Being in these movies, just being a little weird. But yeah, the Wrath of the Dragon God. I struggled with this one.
It was by far.
This one was a struggle. But I can see how there's things in it that resemble the game.
There were some cool ideas.
Yes.
But everything was just so stiff.
Yes. It was very by the numbers. It was very bland.
Yeah. There's no real personality in it.
The dragon looks like shit.
There's also like no people of color in this movie.
Which is weird because he's going after the descendants, and Snails, I guess, didn't come back to life.
He died.
Well, they imply that he's coming back to life.
Let's
Maybe
not pretend like Snails had any descendants to.
He was.
He was flirting with the elf, so
Unsuccessfully.
Unsuccessfully. I guess she didn't have kids either. Yeah.
Also, he's dead. He can't have kids. You can't have kids when you're dead.
But if he came back to life, I don't know.
But we don't know that now because we have just this disjointed ending.
That would have been funny if he's like, and by the way, Snails never came back to life. And the character's like, who's Snails? It's like, oh, yeah, that was 100 years ago, before your time. All I'm going to say is Lava Baby.
I did like the Lava Baby.
Lava Baby was hilarious.
Justice for Pico.
Justice for Pico.
Which one was he again?
You said you knew who he was.
He's the guy in the background where the drugs are kicking
Yes,
in.
that guy. I forgot his name. I didn't know he had a name.
We had to look it up, and it's Pico.
Do we have any last words on Dungeons and Dragons 2?
I think I'm done with that one.
All right.
I just have a note, boring ending, but I don't even remember what the ending was.
How boring it was.
It was boring. All the endings are very anticlimactic.
Yeah. But yeah,
no epic combat.
Yeah, and the epic combat we got in the first movie was pretty lame. So
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Damodar gets put in jail again.
Oh yeah, he's just in jail now.
He's in jail.
Yeah,
He dies in the first one. Now he's just in jail.
Enjoy the rest of eternity in jail now, asshole.
Yeah, can he? I guess he can't do magic in jail. I don't know what's good.
Yeah, nothing's explained.
Anyway, he put
magic jail.
He put all his chips on the Dragon God plan. He didn't have any other backup plans. But did the Lich get killed?
No, he pieces out.
Yeah,
he just pieces out.
Yeah.
Like, see ya. So yes, that was it for that one. Then a few years later, the same director comes back and does Dungeons and Dragons 3, The Book of Vile
Darkness.